Hi. Haven't done a video in a while, have I? But I got a good one. Short one, I hope, unless I blab too much. This is the Synaxarion, the lives of the saints of the Orthodox Church. This is volume 3. And here's what's funny. It's only January and February. So I know the church here starts like in September. I'm not sure. I'm in a Georgian Orthodox monastery, different calendar, old calendar. So the other volumes probably cover the few months before this. I'm assuming there aren't 3 volumes just covering January and February, but who knows? Who knows? But this was a good reading today or yesterday. When did we read it? No, we read it a couple days ago. Technically, it's January 16th or 17th. You Orthodox, Ortho Bro, online purists, don't crucify me. I've been Orthodox for 20 minutes, and I'm still learning everything. So, speaking of which, I'm not going to try to teach anything here, but I do want to share this amazing story about the Emperor Theodosius because you'll see. You'll see. It's gonna be an abbreviated part here. We read. I mean, that whole day. That's a long day of memorials. The main read on that day is Saint Antony the Great. Kind of a big one. Anyway, let me read this. This is interesting. So, this is what we read in Trapeza, by the way. We read this during mealtime, and other places too, but I've always known it in Trapeza. Anyway, the same day, memory of the most pious Emperor Theodosius the Great. The most pious Emperor Theodosius, 346 through 95, was born in Spain to an illustrious noble family, and from his youth was notable for his courage. When Gratian, the young emperor of the West, inherited the Eastern Empire in 375, Theodosius became his right-hand man and commander-in-chief of the Roman forces, which he led to brilliant victories over the barbarians who were threatening the security of the empire. Although exemplary in his piety and in his striving for peace, Theodosius, faced with opposition, was easily moved to anger, and on occasion this brought him into conflict with the great defenders of Christian standards of conduct. But in the end, he always expressed sincere repentance and submitted to the authority of the Church, thereby showing a depth of humility rarely found in princes. This was the case in 390, when, having secured control of the Western Empire and moved his court to Milan, he decided to visit severe punishment on the city of Thessalonica for its rebellion and, despite the remonstrances of St. Ambrose, 7 December, ordered the massacre of several thousand innocent people in the stadium there. Following this atrocity, the courageous bishop had no hesitation in forbidding Theodosius to enter Milan Cathedral and in imposing a heavy penance on him. Although any other ruler than he would probably have silenced the churchman for his audacity, Theodosius was humbly submissive. He asked forgiveness with groans and tears, and at the end of the period of excommunication decreed by St. Ambrose, he presented himself before the doors of the cathedral, divested of the emblems of majesty as a public sinner. He later decreed that henceforth 30 days should elapse between sentence of death and execution. What a commie liberal, right? 30 days? Just goes to show you, most of history is not really that comprehensible to us here in the comfy 21st century. Now, here's the interesting part for me. I'll just read it. So great were the repentance and humility of Theodosius that they enabled him to work miracles. It is said that while traveling incognito in the Holy Land dressed as a simple pilgrim, he came to the doors of the Basilica of the Resurrection, which opened of their own accord at his prayer, revealing the church within, all lit up as on a feast day. And then it goes on to list a few other virtues and things of his. I think it's amazing that this guy, this emperor, first of all, he's got all the trappings of wealth and power, that he could become a saint. I mean, it's hard. It's hard when your life is comfortable, which is the whole point of spiritual warfare, this channel and other things I'm doing. But he not only was, a prince, presumably, you know, a beneficiary of the relative standards of the office, and he's a mass murderer. He killed, what was it, thousands, several thousand innocent people. This is in our book here. This book identifies them as innocent people, thousands of them, and yet he's still a saint. And so that's not, of course, some people are going to be like, see, you venerate murderers, Christian nationalism, or whatever. No, it just goes to show repentance. I don't want to get too topical. I want this to be more of an evergreen thing, like most things I do, because these texts are evergreen. But right now, I checked into to Twitter this morning, or X, whatever, and they're crucifying a former adult film actress who now has a side hustle as a repentant Christian. Right? I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, and yeah, I don't like the way she's doing it. I think she's phony. She's got the most superficial, thin gruel of Christianity, in my judgmental opinion. Yes, I know I'm judging, but the way that the Christians of all kinds are trying to hold her sins to her, um, and never forget them, is frankly unchristian. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. Number one, but just theologically speaking, that's not what we do. We forgive and move on. So that's definitely what happened here with Theodosius. This mass murdering emperor is now recognized on January, whatever day, 17 January. There it is. I found it on the 17th of January, old calendar. So interesting. The next time you accidentally eat some bacon, put on your potato soup during a fast day, maybe don't beat yourself up about it. So, them's my thoughts. Oh, yeah. So, I'm doing this for fun, pretty much, but please like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And one thing I'm doing as well is working on a voice acting career. So, if you would like a voice actor or narrator to read something that you have, I'd be happy to do that. I also do a little bit of writing on the side. So, that's my pitch. Cheers.